Everybody, I'm here in Cave Creek, Arizona at my friend Guillermo Alon's place, Big Kaz. Just had an awesome conversation with him about coronavirus. His wife is a nurse, so that's an interesting take on things. And then hang in till the end, because him being a person of color, I kind of had to push him to talk about George Floyd. He didn't really want to, but he has a pretty awesome take on some positive steps for moving forward. So definitely worth a listen. All right, episode 10, Chicken Man. All right, everybody. Welcome to Chicken Man on the Run, episode 10.
You've done 10?
Yeah, number 10. Well, but I keep forgetting what episode I'm
Why
on
wasn't I number one?
because I had to ride to Phoenix to interview you.
You saved the best for last?
Yeah.
Just lie to me.
Well, past Phoenix to Cave Creek.
Yes.
We're here with Guillermo Alon, also known as Big Kaz.
The infamous.
The infamous, the one
The
and only.
liar.
The one and only.
The one and only.
The one and only Big Kaz.
I'm homeless.
We're going to talk about how coronavirus has affected you and George Floyd and the protests. And both those are on there. I'm going to flip my lucky St. Jude patron saint of lost coin. No, there's a heads or tails on there. So you're going to call the coin flip. And then whatever comes up first, that's what we talk about, what it says on the paper.
Okay.
Cool?
Heads.
Tails.
Damn it, man. So I look at the paper?
Huh? Yeah.
I like this. I really like the interview you did with the brother on Melrose.
Oh, yeah. Rod Bethea. He's awesome. He's my barber, dude. That's why I look so
Corona.
good. Corona. Tails.
That's nothing to be excited about, by the way.
Yeah. No, it sucks, too. So, how has coronavirus affected you, your business, you personally, family, friends, anything?
Let me start by saying first, I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, man.
I've known you for a very long time, and talking to people was not one of your fine points. It's not one of your strong points. You didn't like to talk to many people. You really didn't. And I love the show. I really love the show. You got something here.
Thanks, man.
Can I get my $20 now?
Yeah.
So
The plug.
When I heard about the COVID, I think I was one of the first skeptical ones going, hey, look on the back of a Lysol can. It says, to treat corona or, and I didn't take it serious. I'm one of those people that I don't believe in it unless I can touch it or see it. So I'm not a religious person. I'm sure people in the comments are like, what? I don't believe in God because I've never met him. Yeah. I don't believe in things I can't touch or feel, I guess that's what makes me a good outlaw biker. But who woke me up to it, put some sense into me, was my wife. She's a head nurse in one of the biggest hospitals out here. And she's like, oh no, it really does exist, but it's a strain of the flu.
So you didn't even believe in it at first?
No, I just thought it was the
You're
flu. I believe
BS
in it, but not that it's deadly, know.
Or it's as dangerous as...
Yeah. And I still don't. But my wife sitting me down and schooling me, because when I literally don't believe in something, I just don't believe in it. And I got to study it before I denounce it. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those guys that read every version of the Bible before I went, it just doesn't add up. Mm-hmm. So I don't just denounce things out of ignorance. I study it. If it's not for me, I did that in martial arts. First thing I got my first black belt in Taekwondo. It taught me how to kick cute. But I never whooped anybody's ass using Taekwondo. We call it that the what if martial art.
Okay.
What if he does this, But she sat me down and she said, no, it is a strain of the flu. And if you already have existing conditions, it can kill you. Mm-hmm. Her being my wife, working in the medical field, I remember watching all these videos of these nurses crying that I felt for. That were like, hey, I have kids at home. But I'm like, hey, what about the guys that went to the military and had to realize, oh shit, I really got to kill people. Mm-hmm. I really have to defend this country. Mm-hmm. So it made me respect my wife more too, because she never missed work.
Oh, really?
And she's susceptible. Yeah, she had to wear a mask, she had to wear gloves, but that's not covering everything.
Yeah.
And how it affected me was both me and my wife had both got it. We have both got it. She got it first, and unbeknownst, before we got tested. And she gave it to me. And the truth is, we literally thought it was something we ate. But
really?
Yes.
Interesting.
But the way, and it is passed through Kim, to be honest, we made love and, good American love making, and literally. You
didn't wear a mask while you were making love?
Right.
Come on, dude,
no,
what
I
the
was
hell?
feeling around. And literally 30 minutes later, she was sick.
Okay.
And I literally and the funny thing is, then I was sick.
Yeah.
So for like 3-4 days, we were and that Friday was like a Tuesday or something. Not trying to remember when we made love because we do okay. But
good to know. Good to know
for the viewers at home. But that Saturday, I had church. In Motorcycle World, we call it church. It's a meeting. And I had to ride 100 and something miles to another town. And I was deathly ill. Deathly. Like I couldn't keep nothing down. And
fever?
Oh my God. Stomach, every pains, the body aches it feels like food poisoning with the worst flu.
Okay.
There was not a bathroom I didn't get to know from here to the town I was riding to. But by the time I got there, I remember sitting there, and it was if no other guys were in the room, none of my club members. And I swear, I just remember thinking to myself, I feel better. And it didn't hit me till I realized I just rode in 95 degree weather. 95 degree weather.
95 degree weather, yeah.
Right, doing 95.
Yeah.
And the heat just kicked it out of me. I immediately text my wife. I said, go outside. Now, we have 2 acres. I said, go outside and work out in the field. She went out, washed the dog, cut the grass. Literally, my hot wife with a 6-pack from fucking, dear God, fuck your 6-pack, mows our 2.5 acres.
Right.
And by that night, she felt better.
Huh.
She went to work. And she said, I didn't feel good and I had a fever over the weekend. So she had to go get tested.
Okay.
Got tested.
Positive.
No.
Oh, really?
Negative.
Oh, weird.
And I didn't get tested because I just didn't feel anything or anything. But the fact that we had to look at, man, she's about to be off work for almost a month. It affected me. But good news, we're all good. We're good. But she texted me today. And 3 employees have it. Oh,
at the hospital? Because there's a spike in...
Yes.
It's March 16th in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And there's been 4,400 new cases in the past 72 hours.
And on top of that, there's people on the floor that have it.
Okay.
And
in the hospital.
Yeah. And funny thing
so now she's exposed again.
Yeah. And she's got to get tested again.
Did you guys do the antibody test? The after that, you probably didn't. But...
No, we had to go to the drive. She did it. I didn't do it because I'm just not. You're not sticking nothing down my nose.
Dude, they stick. It's like they.
No, it's like this.
All the way.
I watched her.
They tickle your brain.
I watched my wife lift.
Oh, you went with her?
Yeah, I had to. Oh. And I watched her lift herself up, holding the door.
Yeah.
Off her feet. Because this woman's shoving it like 1,000, 2. And I'm looking at this woman like, it literally looked like a scene out of a movie, And I remember...
at that point, I think that's what's messed a lot of us up, is it looks like a scene.
It does.
A scary pandemic movie.
And I remember asking the lady, she goes, well, if it comes back positive, just take 14 days off in quarantine. People need to realize, honest to God, take 14 days off in quarantine.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, go back to work in a few days. Yeah. And I looked at the lady. I said, so no Theraflu? No nothing? Yeah. She's like, no.
No, there's no.
I said, so this deadly virus, you just quarantine for 14 days. This deadly virus. Yeah. But if you get the flu, go take some Theraflu, take some NyQuil, take some this, some Benadryl. And I went, how deadly is this thing if it's just go quarantine?
Well,
So that's why I'm still on the fence. Now, affecting me employment-wise, everybody knows I do music, I distribute, and I'm distributed by Universal, and everybody's out of the office. So there's nobody to when I upload a record from here
so they're not doing
on their end,
yeah.
it can't get uploaded.
Yeah.
So if I have no records coming out,
Yeah.
I have no money off
Universal Music's probably in LA or
Frisco.
Oh, okay.
They're
They're still shut down too.
Well, let me take that back. Universal's in Los Angeles. I'm distributed by Empire and In-Grooves.
Okay, and they're in San Francisco.
Universal now owns In-Grooves.
Gotcha.
And outright. So it's still through In-Grooves. They have people in the seats there. But for the last couple months, nobody's been in seats. Yeah. Now, we've gotten paid. But, like, I've got a new unreleased Neo nobody's ever heard. And it's just sitting.
Yeah.
I know you have the question on there about George Floyd. I did a song, not so much about George Floyd. I mentioned him in the song. His voice is in the song. I got clearance, sadly, to use what was going on while he was dying. I licensed and got blessing to use that piece. And when I thought about using it, it was like, but I'm like, people need to hear on this record that this man's dying. And what people need to know also, all proceeds are going to Black Lives Matter. But I can't release it because there's nobody in the office.
Right.
Yeah. It hit me financially to where I've been doing digital distribution since 2007.
Okay.
And I've never sold my rights. Never sold any publishing off, nothing. And shout out to, if there's any artists out there that really have sold some records and they hit a bind, there's a company in Miami called Sound Royalties. And if you got some catalog out there and you hit a rough spot, young lady by the name of Tatiana, they've done stuff for other big artists. I won't say their name, but shout out to Sound Royalties. I was about to borrow some money on my royalties.
Oh, they loan you cash.
They loan you cash.
Interesting.
But any checks you have coming in, and luckily I have 3 distributors. I have 2 real big ones and then 1 small one that I send smaller releases. But it affected me to the point to where, me and my wife are looking at each other like, that nest egg, we're going to have to start touching it.
Yeah.
If you live life,
weren't you even saying you were considering selling your house? And
our house was up for sale.
On the market, yeah.
Our house was up for sale. We moved into a rental. We had to stage the house.
Yeah.
We had to move. And we moved into a rental while I was also in the process of doing this royalty deal. And luckily, me and my wife sat down and it was like, we just got to weigh out the storm, not stressing with goddamn toilet tissue.
Yeah.
Like, how much ass wiping you going to do? You don't own a towel? Sorry if that's a little gross.
Well, no, you don't have running water in that house?
Yeah, right. You got a shower, stanky
There's
ass.
a solution to the problem.
Right. But honest to God, we sat there and I went, why are we selling our house?
Yeah.
And we took the house off the market first. We were in a rental. Luckily, it was through my realtor, so I've always been cool with him. I was like, hey, can I just pay you for breaking the lease? We moved back into our home, and I remember to the day, it was a Thursday, I contacted one of my distributors and said, you have a contract on the table to forward my incoming royalties to Sound Royalty for this amount of money. Take that off the table. Because it was about to go through.
Because they probably charge you ungodly interest
too,
right? Yeah.
Oh, I won't even say the amount I was going to. I mean, it's an amount that could change a lot of people's lives.
Right.
But I have people I got to pay.
Right.
I have artists,
I didn't even think about that. So
yes.
Once you get, then you have to pass down part of that to other people.
It's divided. So when you distribute a record,
okay,
when you're uploading a record, there's a piece where it'll say withhold royalties. Anybody's name you put in the credits, you put their government, and you put withhold royalties. So let's say it's Lazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. You put Stephen House.
Okay.
They withhold that
royalties
percentage of the pie.
Okay.
And they'll say, this is what your record made this month. This is what you're getting. Because they've already divvied. But and by no means was I broke. I was concerned.
Yeah.
Where what if my wife gets laid off? Because they were talking about laying people off.
Well, they laid a lot of nurses off.
Yes, a ton. Luckily, and let me say this the right way, not luckily, because it's sad that to me, people talk dirtbag Trump, talk this first responder stuff, and it's like, you wouldn't know fucking nothing about. My wife and all these nurses and doctors and aides, they go to work with no guarantee how they're going to come home. But my fear was, what if something happened to me? I made a promise to my wife that she will never, as a matter of fact, I just had her resign yesterday. I don't ever want her to have to work again. You know, we are luckily financially okay to where I can tell my wife to resign and she doesn't have to work, because I don't want her to ever have to go through that again. But we thought of, well, what if something had happened to me?
Yeah.
You know, I'm dealing with some health conditions that you know about. We won't get into right now. But what if?
Did any of that make you more susceptible to corona, as far as you know?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. So here's a question I ask a lot of people. I think this is a good one for you. If you would have known that this shit was coming, would you have done anything differently?
No.
Would you wouldn't have planned differently? You wouldn't have done anything?
To know what? If I knew a virus was coming,
Yeah.
which we did know. They hit in Japan first, and they were showing people. Was it China?
No,
first?
China, Wuhan,
Yeah.
Wuhan province.
And they
China.
remember they had cell phones watching people just kill over and die, shitting on themselves, just dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got cameras here. How come nobody's killing over dying like that here? Heavens forbid, but it just wasn't the same dynamic.
There was some interesting stuff going on.
Would I have bought more toilet paper? No, because I didn't run out of toilet paper. I thought it was sickening that people were literally hoarding toilet paper. If you want to be ashamed at anybody, before you get shamed at protests, people, be ashamed at people that literally went out and hoarded toilet paper and then tried to resell it. I went on eBay for shits and giggles, and a person was selling a swipe of toilet paper. Mm-hmm. A swipe. Mm-hmm. For $1.50 plus $6 shipping.
You don't think that was a joke?
No, it was dead serious. And it showed how many they had sold.
Oh, man.
And you just think, my God. But would I have done something different?
Or will you do anything different going forward? Now, having lived through this and experienced it.
I look at my finances a little bit there. I mean, it drives my wife nuts. I am the most. My wife asked me one time, she goes, have you always been so indecisive? I said, yeah, it's what makes me me, you know, and I am the most mind-changing person you're ever going to meet in your life, because one thing, and it was my daddy that taught me this, anything that can be bought over and over again, you probably don't need right now. Because if it can always be bought, you don't need it right now. People go into panic mode. So no, I don't, I think if anything, I would have not said, well, hey, let's go spend that money on this.
Right.
Because, I mean, my wife is a very high-paid nurse. Mm-hmm. Am I taking a risk by her leaving that form of job? No, because it was her money before we met. So I can't miss something that wasn't mine. And I don't need her to pay the bills. Sadly, I think about all the people that worked in the music industry. What are they? I mean, they're laid off. They're furloughed.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up here stressing, and I get a check coming in every month because I'm still selling royalties.
Yeah.
Because crazy people bought more records right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so many people are stuck at home.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh, it's a good thing, but it's like people bought records. They were bored. But for me, I think I would have just been a little tighter with my money.
Yeah.
You know, for situations like this. You know, remember our parents used to say, save for a rainy day? I would have saved more for a rainy day. Because
me personally, I had saved, and I wish I would have saved twice as much.
Right.
That's how it's like, the bar was here, now it's there. Well, from here on out.
When my wife asked, why are you doing this? Because I was borrowing an amount of money that could change some people's lives, but I was borrowing an amount of money that could also change my life. When you borrow on your royalties, you have nothing coming in.
Okay.
Zero.
Right.
So you've got to live off
Oh, you just got that money that you borrowed.
That's it.
And then until they're paid back, you got squat.
So luckily I was only borrowing from one of my distributors, because like I said, I have 3. But it was one of my bigger paying. So if I had hit a you know, and I'm nothing against sound royalties or anybody, but they kind of hope you hit a rut.
Yeah.
So then you'll sell off more. You know, you can borrow up to $1 million if you have $1 million coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was, you know, my child support doesn't stop. I didn't get to call up child support and go, hey, because I still had income coming in. But that's really how it affected me. It scared me, but it didn't break me.
Okay.
You know.
Let's pivot. How are we doing on time?
We're good.
Okay.
Got...
Let's pivot, and now we're going to talk about George Floyd. So, how has George Floyd's murder affected you and the protests? Or just George's murder,
respectfully,
or the protests,
this will be the shortest probably answer you'll get, but I'll answer respectfully. There was a time when I was man, this is just fucking wrong.
Yeah. His murder.
Yes. Or many others.
Yeah.
Many beatings, many false arrests.
Well, Breonna Taylor, there's a whole list.
Yes.
Yeah, we can go down.
I have watched the races split. And I'm a, you know, mixed man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my name is Guillermo Elan, you know.
Just to be extra confusing.
Yeah, you know, try to figure it out, viewers. But I watched it. Actually, I take that back. I've actually never watched it in its entirety. I don't want to.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
I've watched it from two angles, and it will.
Because I'm one that it affects me literally, and I would just get angry. I was sitting with my wife. So this will be a short answer. I was sitting with my wife, and I was telling her stereotypes that people of color go through, and I had an ordeal with an officer that profiled me, and I said he profiled me, and I asked him if he
said that
me.
to the officer.
Yes,
okay.
I asked him if he profiled me, and he goes, "I've been a fucking cop for 20-some years. Get back in your truck. You don't fucking ask me nothing like that." And I said, "Man, I don't give a fuck how long you've been a cop. I've been this confusing color and name for 50-something years, and I'm sure you don't know what the fuck I am." I said, "So I'm not going to get back in my truck because I might flinch and not make it to the rest of the day." I didn't realize my wife was crying. I told you this story earlier. She was crying. And I asked her, why was she crying? She goes, "It saddens me that you've had to go through stuff like that." And instantly, I realized, oh shit, she saw me as a victim. And then I went, oh shit, I'm 52. I've made it a half a century. Does it mean it can't happen? Yes, it can happen. But I've made it to 52. I got to tell that story. So here's my short answer. I'm alive. Mm-hmm. There's many others that are alive. And if you took the shoes from the 50s of people that protested to the shoes of 2020, has any of the steps actually changed? Because you're still just marching. So I am just happy to wake up. I am happy that you all woke up. I'm happy that my best friend is doing what he loves to do. And may the Floyd family find peace. And may others that are marching this way, don't end up like the end of the Forrest Gump movie where he stops running and then they go, okay, what do we do now? Because everybody's looking for a leader. And when he said, I'm going to go home, everybody just stopped. So maybe we can all just stop and just do something for the person next to you of any color, and it will trickle down. That's my answer.
I love that. Do you want to answer any more questions about George Floyd, or do you want to leave it at that?
Yeah, not really. No,
okay.
No.
All right.
And I respect so wholeheartedly what you're asking me. That's
I
would just hope people would take that key point that I just said. If you take the shoes from the 50s to the shoes to now, has the steps been any different? We're still just marching.
You mean we haven't caused change?
If you take the shoes from the 50s to now, have any of the steps
Yeah.
changed. A street may change that you walk down,
Yeah.
but you're still stepping.
Right.
So I just think that maybe while I'm looking this way, I got a guy right next to me that may need a helping hand. So everybody knows the index finger rule. When you point one index finger, you have 3 pointed back at you. Until you can accept those 3, don't point your finger. Well, that's not where it ends, ladies and gentlemen. The story actually ends like this. You can either keep pointing your finger and accept the 3 pointed back at you, or you can close your fists and keep fighting, or you can open them and just say, I just want peace.
Word. I understand. I'm going to leave it at that. Is there anything... It's hard. This it's heavy, man.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
We've been riding all day long. I'm taking
And it's 104 degrees in Arizona, and I'm dying from the heat now.
But we have not found a somber moment until right now that this is kind of...
It's all been fun until... Yeah.
Because you can go around every walks of life. You go around people that drink, everybody's happy drunks until someone gets shit-faced and then gets hit in their mouth. You can go home and be happy and pet the dogs, and later we're going to go hang out with some of the... But, my parting words would be, to the people that are watching this, share this. Share it. Because I had to ask him earlier today, why are you doing this? And he's not doing it for money. He's not, he just woke up and had an idea. And he lives in an area that when he told me where he was moving, it was like, what? And he's been there now going how many years?
4 years.
Because remember I just said about steps? He took a step in a different direction that no one would even go move where he moved. And he's made it it was a house when he bought it. It's his home now. So my parting words would be, do me a favor. Stop talking. And actually just be happy that you wake up tomorrow. And it's okay to do something for your fellow man. You ain't got to like them. You ain't got to bed with them. You ain't got to, but just a hello. Be happy that they woke up and know that it's okay, man. We don't always have what everybody else has. But one thing we can share at this moment is this air. I'm not all about this weird, hippie, peaceful shit. But it's like we all woke up.
We did.
And as you guys are watching this, you can go, man, who's this big head dude? What is he talking about? Well, I could have been a guy that would have robbed you back in the day. He could have been a guy that did the same thing. But instead, we're 2 guys that turned our lives around. And he took the time to ride all the way in the hottest month.
Hottest part of the year, dude.
Hottest part of the year.
Bad timing.
And he's doing it for y'all. So if you know somebody that's a frontline worker, buy him a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Buy him lunch. If you see a person of color, don't give him a hand out. Give him a hand up. And stop listening to all the bullshit. Just be happy that you woke up.
Amen. Anything you want to promote?
Nothing.
All right.
I want to promote happiness. Live life.
There you go. ChickenMan episode 10, On the Run.
In fucking Arizona.
At 105
Where are you on your way to?
ChickenMan out.
After this state.
Santa Fe, New Mexico. Where it's still really damn hot. We'll see you in Santa Fe.
Beautiful.
That was great.